So we live in this perception of a perception of ourselves. Hence, my identity is made by what my parents think I should be. My identity is made up by what my college or university thinks I should achieve. While you're living in that bubble and that echo chamber, getting to what you really want to do is impossible, because maybe that just doesn't fit. And I think so many people feel that way today, that they don't fit into the current education system. They don't fit with the 3 or 4 or 5 careers that you're taught exist. So that process of self-excavation and actualization first requires being exposed. You can't be what you can't see.
And what we have to do in order to get to that place where we can take the keys and unlock the self-imposed prisons, or the prisons that we have given ourselves on the basis of what we have come to believe is our limitations, what we can and can't do. We have to let go of that. And I call it rewriting our agreement with reality.
I will wake up with a new mindset for myself, for my future. The sky's the limit to your dreams. You can go beyond the stars if you make it up in your mind that you won't be stopped.
You gotta take that thing out, like you gotta take the breath out. So some of y'all are afraid of math. Go after it. Go get it. Don't run from it no more. Go get it. You gotta go get it. It's possible.
At the end of the day, you're going to go as far as you're willing to fight for, and that's it. And if you're willing to fight to go all the way, then you will go that far. You will set a new bar. You will define for people what is possible.
You just have to have the drive and willpower to go through that next door and give it your all. We all must become the leaders that we're looking for. We got this.
Men and women begin to become great only when they begin to take time by themselves to listen to their inner voices and organize their lives in such a way that their activities and relationships give them a deep sense of inner peace. The first step that you can take to personal greatness is to sit down quietly and look over your life to determine the areas where you're not experiencing the peace of mind and happiness that you really want. You'll find that this is a very easy exercise to do because your mind is continually preoccupied with these problems, just like a person sitting on a tack would be preoccupied with the pain. Your job is to get off the tack. Your responsibility to yourself is to realize that you can never make someone else happy by being unhappy yourself, just as you can never make someone else healthy by being sick. You should not sacrifice your happiness in an attempt to somehow achieve the happiness of another person. You'll only end up making no one happy, especially yourself. In the play Cyrano de Bergerac by Edmond Rostand, Cyrano, the great individualist, is asked why it is that he is so outspoken and so self-assertive. He answers with this beautiful line. He says, "I choose the line of least resistance in this, that I will please at least myself in all things." When you make the decision that, for better or worse, you will please at least yourself in all things, only then will you be truly happy. And only then, it seems, will you be able to help anyone else to be happy as well. The second law of happiness is the law of emotion. It says that human beings are 100% emotional in everything they think and feel and decide. I used to think that people were 90% emotional and 10% logical. However, both research and experience contradicts this conclusion. People are totally emotional in everything they do. If a person says to you that he's decided to do the logical thing, it simply means that he has more emotion devoted to that course of action than he does to another course of action, and he uses the word logical to justify his decision. Someone once said that no matter how old you become, you always have the emotions of a teenager. This may or may not be true, but the central impact of your emotions and feelings is a key component in both understanding and achieving your own happiness. The first part of the law of emotion is that you are motivated by two major groups of emotions, those of love or desire, and those of fear or loss. These are the positive emotions and the negative emotions. These emotions were described by Sigmund Freud as emotions associated with pleasure and emotions associated with pain. You have a tendency to move toward those experiences you associate with pleasure or happiness, and you have a tendency to move away from those experiences you associate with pain or unhappiness. This is the essence of the pleasure principle that I mentioned earlier. The second part of this law of emotion says that the content of your emotional life is largely determined by the thoughts you dwell upon most of the time. This is such a simple and obvious truth that it's often overlooked by most people. It simply says that if you think happy thoughts, you will be a happy person. If you think angry thoughts, you'll be an angry person. If you think about the things that people have done to hurt you and the reasons you have to be angry or unhappy, you'll be negative, pessimistic, and eventually you'll be depressed. Abraham Lincoln once wrote, "A man is just about as happy as he makes up his mind to be." Well, this is true for you and true for me.
Let life touch you. Don't let it kill you, but at least let it touch you. The next touch could open up the well springs you'll never lack for desire for the rest of your life. From shortly after the time I met my teacher, Mr. Shope, at age 25, no one's ever had to say to me all these years, "When are you gonna get going?" Nobody's ever said that to me all these years. I've heard, "When are you gonna slow down? You're gonna have a heart attack and die. You can't keep up this kind of calendar." But nobody's ever said to me, "When are you gonna get going?" I'm asking you to keep searching for life experiences until you find one that lights your fires, until you will never lack for desire for the rest of your life, and nobody will ever have to say to you the rest of your life, "When are you gonna get off the couch?" Clue. Welcome all experiences. Don't put up the walls. The same wall that keeps out disappointment keeps out happy. Take the risk. And here's the last emotion that can change your life in a single day. It's called resolve. Resolve says, "I will." Two of the most powerful words in the language. I gave you the formula for disaster. Could, should, don't. Here's the formula for fortune. Should, could, will. I will. I should. I can, and I will. Two of the most powerful words in the language. I will. Benjamin Disraeli once said, "Nothing can resist a human will that will stake even its existence on its purpose." I'll do it or die. What a powerful set of words. The man says, "I will climb the mountain." They've told me it's too high, it's too far, it's too difficult, it's too rocky, it's never been done before. The man says, "Hey, it's my mountain, I'll climb it." Pretty soon you'll see me waving from the top or dead on the side, 'cause I ain't coming back. The best definition of resolve I ever got was from a junior high girl, Foster City, California. I love to talk to kids and ask them definitions. They come up with beauty. I got to this word and I said to the kids, "Who can tell me what resolve means?" Some didn't know and some tried. It was interesting. The best one I got was a little girl about 3 rows back. She said, "Mr. Rohn, I think I know." I said, "What?" She said, "I think resolve means promising yourself you will never give up." I said, "That's the best I've ever heard. You can't say it any better than that. Promise yourself you will never give up. You don't have to promise me. You don't have to promise the world. Just promise yourself." What a great bit of language. I asked the kids, how long should a baby try to learn how to walk? How long would you give your average baby before he shut off? That's enough. No, any mother in the world would say you're silly. My baby's going to keep trying what? Until. What a magic word, until. How many books will you read? Until you find the answers for your good health? Read 1 and quit? Read 2 and quit? Risk a cardiovascular disaster? I can't buy that from you. Wouldn't you read enough books until? Wouldn't you read enough books on financial independence until you become financially independent? Wouldn't you read enough books on leadership until you become a leader? Wouldn't you read enough books on power until you got the power? Of course, why not? Don't settle for less. Use this little until phrase. I'll do enough exercises until I become healthy. I'm out of breath now, but I'll put myself through enough disciplines until I'm no longer out of breath. I'm not going to walk up 1 flight of stairs and can't catch my breath. It's over. Until magic.
Ask yourself questions. Your desire for success is fed by self-reflection, awareness, and resoluteness. Since everyone has their own definition of success, every set of objectives will vary. Your definition will lead you in a different direction than your peers. If you are ambiguous about your goals, start interrogating yourself and figure out your life's purpose. Ask questions like, what do I want to achieve? Where do I see myself in the next 5 years? What do I enjoy but could be better at? How do I define success? What kinds of accomplishments will help me drive forward? These will help you learn more about yourself and devise your objectives. Write down the first answer that comes to your mind without overthinking. Remember, there are no right or wrong answers. By answering these questions one by one, you will notice a pattern emerging. It will be your dedicated path to shaping or reshaping your objectives. Step 2. Prioritize your objectives. If you have several desires that you wish to fulfill, prioritize your objectives to view them as tangible goals. By flashing a simple why at your life's purpose, you can find answers to what you genuinely want. It can be landing your dream job, earning your college degree with honors, buying the first house, or being completely debt-free. Of course, they do not necessarily have to be material possessions. You can also aspire to achieve happiness or peace of mind. If you know what you want but are not sure how to get there, this step is bound to help you. Step 3. Write them down. By penning down your goals, you create a clear picture of the milestones and objectives you will achieve. This will imprint your desires in your mind to help them stick. Write them down and place them on your work desk, mirror, front door, refrigerator, or any other visible spot around your home or office. This will remind you of your main purpose and provide the motivation and drive you need. Break down your goals into smaller, achievable milestones. Say your final goal is to achieve financial independence. Everyone has their own definition of financial freedom, which is why you must outline yours. Start by writing your main goal on a piece of paper and deconstruct it into smaller steps. In this case, your first step will be to apply for your well-paid dream job and will push you closer to your goal. If needed, divide your first milestone further into even smaller steps and set an accomplishment time frame for each. Step 4. Take the SMART goal approach. Whether you're crafting new goals for yourself, whether personally, academically, or professionally, several factors will influence your likelihood of success. That's why your objectives should be SMART, as in S, specific. Your goals must be specific. They should reflect the why, what, where, and how you'll get closer to your objectives. M, measurable. How will you know if you are truly fulfilling your goal? What are the milestones or benchmarks to determine that? Are you setting deadlines or monitoring your progress through your development? Record a specific measurement. It can be defined on your own to measure your goals. A, attainable. There is no point in setting goals that you can't achieve. This does not mean that they should be easy. Establish goals that are ambitious yet attainable. If not, you are simply wasting your time and energy trying to achieve an objective that will never be fulfilled. R, realistic. In a similar vein, your goals should be realistic too. Visualizing a mirage of hopes and dreams that will never be realized is impractical and elusive. So be pragmatic and set goals that you believe are feasible and within your reach. T, time-bound. Lastly, set a timetable for each of your objectives. You should be able to fulfill a goal within a specific time frame. This will ensure that you can fulfill all your objectives in the next few years within a designated and precise time frame.